Zombie Road. The name alone conjures a chill. But where did it come from? Out of all the legends swirling around this shadowy trail in Wildwood, Missouri, one story looms above the rest. A story about a killer that stalked these woods. Was he real? A phantom born of fear? Or just a sinister tale whispered to thrill seekers in the dark? To find the truth, we have to journey back to the 1950s, when this forgotten road became the perfect stage for one of Missouri's most enduring urban legends. Every legend begins with a truth. Let's find it. Lover's Lane in the 1950s. By the mid-20th century, Lawler Ford Road was a ghost of its former self. The trains were gone, the quarries silent. What remained was a crumbling dirt road swallowed by dense forest. At night, it was black as ink. No streetlights, no houses, just the moonlight and the murmurs of the trees. And yet, to local teenagers, that isolation was irresistible. This became their secret haunt, a lover's lane hidden far from watchful eyes. Old-timers remember it vividly.
Cars lined up bumper to bumper down that narrow track, radios glowing, windows fogged, crickets chirping.
But alongside the laughter came something else, a prickle at the back of your neck. Because when you're parked in the dark woods, every rustle sounds like footsteps. One man who was there said,
"You'd hear something moving in the brush, and suddenly the whole car felt cold."
That uneasy feeling, it was about to take on a name. The birth of a legend. It started as a whisper. A man escaped from a nearby asylum. He vanished into these woods. The search party found nothing except a hospital gown, torn and stained red, lying on the roadside like a warning. From that spark, the story spread like wildfire. They said the man was dangerous, feral, stalking the road at night. Some claimed he crept up to parked cars, pounding on the glass before slipping back into the shadows. Others swore he lived in a rotting shack deep in the timber, a place where unlucky couples were dragged, never to be seen again. One teen from that era recalled,
"We'd hear banging on car doors out of nowhere. Lights came on and there was nobody there."
Soon, they gave him a name, Zombie, and the road itself wore his mark. Lawler Ford Road became Zombie Road. The tale takes shape. Like any good urban legend, this one grew wilder with every retelling. Some versions said he wasn't just a killer. He was undead, a walking corpse. Others claimed he died on the very road he haunted, struck by a car, only to rise again for vengeance. A particularly gruesome spin painted him as a former orphanage worker who had tortured and murdered children, hiding their bodies in shallow graves nearby. Creepy, right? But pure fiction. Still, there was a kernel of truth fueling the fire. An actual orphanage once stood in Glencoe in the 1870s. It even burned to the ground in a tragic fire. That real piece of history bled into the legend, blurring fact and folklore until nobody could separate them. As one Wildwood resident put it,
"Everybody had a cousin who saw him. Nobody knew his name. Just Zombie. That was enough."
why this story stuck. The road itself helped keep the story alive. Hidden, isolated, overgrown. The perfect backdrop for horror. Picture it. You're 17, parked on a dirt track under a canopy of trees. It's dead quiet. The forest creaks, then tap, tap, tap on your window. Was it a branch in the wind? A prank? Or something worse? By sunrise, it didn't matter. The story wrote itself. By the 1960s, teens weren't just talking about the legend. They were acting it out. Midnight dares to walk the road. Screams in the dark. Drivers swearing they saw a tall silhouette at the tree line, melting into shadow when the headlights hit it. Some even whispered about glowing eyes watching from the brush. Prank or paranormal, every new tale kept the legend alive. Fact versus folklore. Here's the truth. There was never an asylum anywhere near this road. No escaped inmate. No serial killer on the loose. Historians scoured the records. And yet, the legend was so strong it erased the road's real name from memory. Even today, police tickets for trespassers often read Zombie Road, a bureaucratic nod to a myth. So if the zombie killer was never real, what about the people who swear they've seen something on this trail? Figures in the trees, faceless silhouettes, voices whispering your name when no one's there. In our next episode, we dive into the ghostly encounters that haunt Zombie Road to this day, and the chilling claims from those who say they've seen the impossible.